Tesla, a name that sparks visions of the future sleek electric cars, self-driving technology, and a promise to save the planet. To millions, it represents innovation, disruption, and hope. But beneath the polished image lies a story far more complex. A story of risk, controversy, and hidden truths that few dare to question. This is not just a car company. It is a movement, a cult of personality, and a symbol of progress. Yet progress often comes at a cost. From the mines of Congo to the deserts of Nevada, from Wall Street's obsession to Elon Musk's Twitter feed, Tesla's empire is built on contradictions. It sells sustainability, but consumes resources at an unprecedented scale. It sells freedom, but keeps control long after the car leaves the showroom. It sells the future, but hides the realities of the present. Tonight, we peel back the layers of the electric empire. We will uncover the untold truths behind Tesla's rise, its battles, and its paradoxes. Because to understand Tesla is to understand more than a company. It is to understand the world we are building and the price we may pay for believing in the dream. Tesla is celebrated as the pioneer of electric cars. To many, it feels like the company invented the future. But here's the hidden truth. Tesla didn't invent the electric car. It didn't invent lithium-ion batteries. It didn't invent self-driving technology. What Tesla did was something far more powerful. It reinvented the story. Electric vehicles existed long before Tesla. In fact, the first electric car dates back to the 1800s. By the early 2000s, companies like Toyota and GM had already experimented with hybrids and EVs. Lithium-ion batteries were powering laptops and phones long before they powered Teslas. Yet when Tesla entered the scene, it claimed the spotlight. Why? Because Tesla didn't just sell cars. It sold the idea of innovation itself. Every product launch was framed as a revolution. The Roadster wasn't just a sports car, it was marketed as proof that electric could be sexy. The Model S wasn't just a sedan, it was branded as the future of luxury. Autopilot wasn't just driver assist software, it was sold as a step toward a self-driving utopia. Tesla mastered the art of turning existing technologies into cultural milestones. This is the myth of innovation. Tesla's genius lies not in inventing, but in storytelling. By positioning itself as the disruptor, Tesla captured the imagination of millions. Investors poured in billions. Consumers lined up for cars they hadn't even seen. And the media amplified every announcement as if it were history in the making. But here's the paradox. When you peel back the hype, Tesla's so-called innovations often lag behind competitors. Other automakers quietly produce EVs with longer ranges, faster charging, and safer features. Yet Tesla remains the symbol of progress. Why? Because Tesla doesn't just sell cars. It sells belief. It sells identity. It sells the myth of being part of something revolutionary. The question is, are we witnessing true innovation? Or are we witnessing the greatest branding story of our time? Tesla sells the dream of clean energy, a car that produces no emissions, a future free from fossil fuels. But every Tesla begins its life not in a showroom, but in the mines of Congo, the salt flats of Chile, and the nickel fields of Indonesia. And here lies the hidden truth. The green revolution is built on some of the dirtiest industries in the world. Lithium, cobalt, and nickel, the lifeblood of Tesla's batteries. Lithium is extracted from fragile ecosystems in South America, where water-intensive mining drains rivers and devastates communities. Cobalt, essential for stabilizing batteries, comes largely from the Democratic Republic of Congo, where reports of child labor and dangerous conditions persist. Nickel, mined in Indonesia and Russia, leaves scars of deforestation and toxic waste. Tesla's cars may be clean on the road, but their birth is anything but clean. The paradox is striking. Tesla markets sustainability, yet its supply chain raises ethical and environmental questions. For every battery, thousands of liters of water are consumed. For every mine, landscapes are altered, communities displaced, and workers exposed to danger. The promise of a green future is built on sacrifices that remain hidden from the consumer's eye. And then there is the human cost. Investigations reveal children as young as 7 working in cobalt mines. digging with bare hands for the minerals that power Tesla's vehicles. Families earn pennies, while Tesla sells cars for tens of thousands of dollars. The gap between the brand's image and the reality of its supply chain is a chasm few consumers ever see. Tesla argues it is working toward ethical sourcing, investing in recycling and alternative materials. But critics say progress is slow and transparency is limited. The company's sustainability reports highlight goals, yet the supply chain remains opaque. For Tesla, the narrative of clean energy is easier to sell than the messy truth of mining. This is the dilemma. Can a company truly be sustainable when its foundation depends on industries that exploit people and destroy ecosystems? Tesla's cars may symbolize the future, but their batteries carry the weight of the present, a present filled with contradictions. The question we must ask is simple. Are we driving toward a cleaner world, or are we simply shifting the burden from the streets of Los Angeles to the mines of Congo? Tesla is not just a company. It is Elon Musk. His name, his voice, his tweets, they are the heartbeat of the brand. Unlike traditional automakers that rely on advertising campaigns and polished corporate messaging, Tesla spends almost nothing on marketing. Instead, it relies on the cult of personality surrounding its CEO. And this is both Tesla's greatest strength and its greatest risk. Elon Musk is more than a businessman. He is a storyteller. He frames Tesla not as a car company, but as a mission to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. He positions himself as a visionary, a disruptor, a rebel against the establishment, and millions believe him. Investors pour billions into Tesla stock, not just because of the cars, but because of Musk's promise of a future that feels inevitable. But this reliance on one man creates volatility. A single tweet can move markets, wipe billions off Tesla's valuation, or ignite a frenzy of speculation. Musk's online persona blurs the line between CEO and influencer. He jokes, he provokes, he promises, and Tesla rises or falls with him. The brand's identity is tethered to his unpredictability. Consider the moments that define Tesla's trajectory. Musk smoking on a podcast, tweeting about taking Tesla private at $420, or promising features that never materialized. Each event shook investors, regulators, and consumers. Yet each event also reinforced the myth of Musk as a maverick, a genius who plays by his own rules. For some, this is inspiring. For others, it is reckless. The Elon Musk effect is not just about hype. It is about belief. Musk has cultivated an audience that sees him as more than a CEO, as a symbol of progress, a modern-day innovator in the mold of Edison or Jobs. Tesla's cars are not just vehicles. They are extensions of Musk's persona. To own a Tesla is, in part, to buy into Musk's vision of the future. But what happens when the man falters? What happens when promises outpace reality? Or when controversies overshadow achievements? Tesla's dependence on Musk raises a critical question. Is the company's identity sustainable without him? Or has Tesla built its empire on a personality that cannot be separated from the brand itself? This is the hidden truth. Tesla's greatest innovation may not be its cars, but its CEO. Elon Musk sells more than vehicles. He sells belief. He sells identity. And in doing so, he has turned Tesla into a movement, one that thrives on faith as much as technology. Tesla today is valued in the hundreds of billions. It is seen as untouchable, a giant of innovation. But the hidden truth is that Tesla's empire was built on the edge of collapse. Behind the headlines of success lies a history of near bankruptcy, desperate fundraising, and survival through risk-taking that few companies could endure. In its early years, Tesla burned through cash at an alarming rate. The Roadster, its first car, cost far more to produce than it sold for. Each unit represented a loss, not a profit. Investors grew restless, and bankruptcy loomed. Elon Musk himself admitted that Tesla came within weeks of shutting down. The dream of electric cars nearly ended before it began. What saved Tesla was not stability, but risk. Musk poured his own fortune into the company, betting everything on survival. He convinced investors to believe in the vision, even when the numbers told a different story. Government subsidies and loans provided lifelines. And through sheer persistence, Tesla staggered forward. The Model S was hailed as a breakthrough, but production delays and quality issues drained resources. The Model 3 nearly broke the company. Musk called it production hell factories, running 24/7, workers exhausted, and cash reserves dwindling. Tesla was again on the brink. Yet through hype, pre-orders, and relentless optimism, Musk kept the company alive. Consumers paid deposits for cars that didn't exist yet, giving Tesla the cash it needed to survive. This is Tesla's financial paradox. It thrives not on stability, but on belief. Investors treat Tesla less like a car company and more like a tech startup, valuing it on potential rather than profit. The company's survival has depended on constant fundraising, stock sales, and the faith of those who believe in Musk's vision. Without that faith, Tesla's story might have ended long ago. Critics argue that Tesla's valuation is inflated, disconnected from reality. Traditional automakers produce more cars, earn more revenue, and face fewer risks. Yet Tesla commands higher market value. Why? Because Tesla sells more than cars. It sells the idea of inevitability, the belief that it is the future, and that betting against it is betting against progress itself. The hidden truth is that Tesla's survival was never guaranteed. It was fought for, risked for, and nearly lost. Its empire rests not only on technology, but on the fragile foundation of belief. And belief, as history shows, can be both the strongest and the weakest currency of all. When you buy a car, you expect ownership, you expect freedom. But Tesla challenges that idea, because Tesla's cars are not just machines, they are computers on wheels. And Tesla, through its over-the-air software updates, retains control long after the car leaves the showroom. With a simple update, Tesla can change how your car drives, how fast it accelerates, or even which features you can access. Autopilot capabilities, battery range, performance boosts, all can be unlocked or restricted remotely. Tesla has the power to alter your car without your consent, turning ownership into something more fragile, a subscription to Tesla's ecosystem. This control raises profound questions. Do you truly own your Tesla? Or does Tesla own it for you? In 2019, Tesla remotely disabled autopilot features in a used car after it was resold, claiming the new owner hadn't paid for them. In other cases, Tesla has offered performance upgrades for a fee. Delivered instantly through software, the car becomes less a product and more a platform, one where Tesla decides what you can or cannot access. And then there is the data. Every Tesla collects information: driving habits, location, performance metrics. Tesla argues this data improves safety and innovation. But critics warn it also creates surveillance, giving the company unprecedented insight into its customers' lives. The car that promises freedom may also be watching you. Tesla's over-the-air control is revolutionary, but it is also unsettling. It blurs the line between ownership and dependency. It transforms cars into services, where the company holds the keys even after you drive away. For consumers, this is both convenience and vulnerability. For Tesla, it is power. The hidden truth is simple. Tesla doesn't just sell cars. It sells control. And in a world where technology increasingly defines freedom, Tesla forces us to ask, are we buying independence or are we buying dependence disguised as innovation? Tesla is often seen as a car company, but in reality, it is building something far larger, an ecosystem, a world where your car, your home, and even your electricity are tied to Tesla. This is not just about transportation. It is about control of energy itself. The story begins with the Powerwall Tesla's home battery. Marketed as a way to store solar energy, it allows households to capture power during the day and use it at night. Then came solar roofs, designed to turn homes into miniature power plants. Add Tesla's supercharger network, and suddenly, Tesla is not just selling cars. It is selling a lifestyle where every part of your energy consumption flows through its brand. This ecosystem is powerful. A Tesla owner can drive a car powered by Tesla solar panels stored in a Tesla battery, charged at a Tesla station. The company creates a closed loop where consumers depend on Tesla for mobility, electricity, and identity. Once inside, leaving becomes difficult. The convenience is seductive, but the dependency is real. Critics argue this strategy is less about sustainability and more about dominance. By controlling cars, charging, and home energy, Tesla positions itself as the gatekeeper of the future. Consumers may believe they are buying freedom, but in reality, they are buying into a system where Tesla decides the rules. And then there is the question of scale. Tesla's vision is global. Gigafactories producing batteries for homes and cars, solar panels covering rooftops, charging stations spanning continents. The company is not just competing with automakers. It is competing with energy giants, utilities, and governments. Tesla's ambition is nothing less than to reshape the world's energy infrastructure. The hidden truth is that Tesla's cars are only the beginning. The real empire lies in energy. And as Tesla expands, the line between consumer choice and corporate dependency blurs. The question is not whether Tesla can build this ecosystem, but whether we are ready to live inside it. Tesla presents itself as the solution to climate change, a car with no tailpipe, a future without fossil fuels. To millions, owning a Tesla feels like a personal contribution to saving the planet. But here lies the paradox. Tesla's green image hides environmental costs that are anything but clean. Producing an electric car requires enormous resources. Gigafactories consume vast amounts of energy, and the mining of lithium, cobalt, and nickel leaves scars on ecosystems across the globe. For every Tesla battery, thousands of liters of water are drained from fragile environments like Chile's Atacama Desert. Communities face shortages, landscapes are altered, and biodiversity suffers. The car that promises zero emissions on the road carries a heavy footprint before it ever leaves the factory. And then there is the carbon cost of production. Studies show that building an electric vehicle can emit more greenhouse gases than building a traditional car. Tesla argues that, over time, its cars offset these emissions through clean driving. But critics warn that the break-even point may take years, and only if the electricity used to charge the car comes from renewable sources. In regions powered by coal, a Tesla may not be as green as its image suggests. Tesla's sustainability campaigns, from Gigafactory powered by renewables to Move to Zero initiatives, highlight ambition. Yet watchdogs question transparency. How much of Tesla's energy truly comes from clean sources? How much recycling of batteries is actually happening? The answers remain unclear, hidden behind marketing slogans and promises of future breakthroughs. This is the paradox. Tesla sells the dream of sustainability, but its reality is complex. It reduces emissions on the road, yet creates new costs in production. It markets clean energy, yet depends on industries that exploit land and water. It promises a future free from fossil fuels, yet its present is built on compromises that few consumers ever see. The hidden truth is that Tesla's green image is not absolute. It is conditional, dependent on context, geography, and time. The question is not whether Tesla is cleaner than traditional automakers. It is whether Tesla is truly sustainable, or whether it is simply another form of greenwashing, selling hope while hiding the cost. As consumers, we must ask, are we driving toward a cleaner world, or are we simply shifting the burden from the air we breathe to the ground beneath our feet? Tesla promises a future, cleaner, faster, smarter. It sells salvation in steel and software. But as we've seen, the road to tomorrow is paved with contradictions. Innovation framed as myth. Clean energy built on dirty supply chains. Factories where people carry the weight of progress. A company tethered to the volatility of a single voice. Survival fueled by belief more than profit. And cars you never fully own in a world you never fully control. This is not a simple verdict. Tesla is both vision and compromise. It reduces tailpipe emissions, yet consumes scarce water and fragile land. It pushes technology forward, yet leans on stories to stay ahead. It gives us speed and convenience, yet tightens the invisible bonds of data and dependency. It is a mirror, reflecting our hunger for hope, our willingness to overlook costs, our desire to belong to the winning future. The hidden truth isn't that Tesla is good or bad, it's that progress is never clean. The question is whether we will demand clarity alongside innovation, ethics alongside scale, humanity alongside speed. Whether we will ask harder questions before we buy the dream, and hold companies accountable after we do. If this journey challenged your assumptions, carry that skepticism with you. Look beneath the headline, follow the supply chain, listen to workers, read the fine print. Ask who benefits and who pays, because the future we get will be built by the questions we ask today. Thank you for watching. If this documentary opened your eyes, share it with someone who lives at the intersection of technology and belief. Subscribe for deeper exposés on the brands shaping our world, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next investigation. Stay curious, stay critical, and remember, the brightest lights cast the longest shadows.